ProfitGo reverse searches through more than 700 suppliers, and this information was always missing in any other tool. You could never really analyze a variant. That helps so much. There are so many nuggets in variants alone. Just another feature that I would buy as a single if it would be available. But if I'm selling abroad and also doing PanEU, I can select PanEU and now differentiate in which country I'm really doing PanEU or EFN. You can walk into any store and scan shelves in seconds instead of minutes with our bulk scanner. If you are selling on Amazon Europe, this is the tool that will make your life 10 times easier. ProfitGo combines a Chrome extension, web app and mobile app all in one. Most tools miscalculate Amazon fees, forget the VAT and leave you guessing real profits. These are just some reasons why we built ProfitGo specifically for European sellers. When you're opening any Amazon product page or any page of a supplier, ProfitGo will open automatically for you guys and show you all the KPIs you need to know to make a buying decision or not. And now we'll go through all KPIs one by one, so I will show you the power of ProfitGo. Here on top you have a little product overview where you see the title, for example, the brand, the review and rating count, and also the ASIN and the GTIN of the product. And here you can see the product dimensions, for example. You can add the product to the ProfitPath inventory, to your favorites in ProfitPath as well. If you don't know what ProfitPath is yet, definitely check it out on our YouTube channel. We have a whole guide on that. This is the real game changer for online arbitrage. Here you can add this product to your favorites Google Sheet with this little shortcut right here. Here you can open up the product on the keeper page if you want to go into a deep keeper analysis. Here you can just open the product on the Amazon page, on the Google page, or on eBay, for example. And here we have some price comparison sites for you to maybe get other sources where you can maybe buy the product even cheaper. And now let's get into the heart of ProfitGo, into the profit calculation. Here on the top you have the BSR, the bestseller rank, the estimated sales, and you can check right away if you are approved for a certain product if you linked your seller account to ProfitGo. And you can also see by a glance if you are ungated for any other marketplace. And if you are not ungated, you can start the ungating process with just one click for every European marketplace. Here you can insert your buy-in cost and your sell cost. So let's assume this SSD costs you 170 euros, okay? Then you would make a net profit of 66 euros and 10 cents, would have a margin of around 24%, an ROI of around 46%. Your max cost, this is just the max cost I provided in the settings, but I will go over that later. And this is the break even price you had. So if the product would drop down to 188 euros, you would at least still break even with this product. So you have a lot of room, for example, with this product to sell. And down here in the little alerts panel, you can see if there are any special alerts like AP, variants, hazmat product, etc. pp. Everything at a glance for you down there in this little panel. Down here, you can insert if you bought this product gross or net, which is like super important to us European sellers. Gross just means you bought this product from a retailer, for example, so you can reclaim your VAT. And if you bought the product net, you probably bought it from a wholesaler from another country where you're getting a net zero invoice. Down here, you can also select right away if you are selling FBA or FBM. If you're selling FBA, you can obviously insert your shipping cost and we take those into account for you. And here you can select the quantity you bought for this product. Let's assume I just bought one, but you could also just type in 10 and we would adjust the calculation to the 10 units you want to buy. But for this demo, let's just take one. And the next thing you can then check out, okay, how are the products selling in other European marketplaces? That's what I always like to do. Let's assume, for example, okay, this product is also selling in France and in Italy and also in the UK, for example. So let's see if I would also make a profit in France, for example, and I can see right away, yes, I definitely also make a profit in France. And I could also just change this country to France right away, and then all the sales, everything gets adjusted right away, also with the right fees. And I can do that for all marketplaces. Here you have a little overview, but if you want to go into a deeper analysis, you can just easily swap the countries out as you want. Same goes obviously for the buy-in region. If you're buying from any other major marketplace, you can just swap them around here as you like. Now let's get into a deeper analysis for the German marketplace. Okay, so here in the profitability breakdown, you can see your buy-in cost, your article price, the break-even price again, and most importantly, your referral fee and your FBA fee, and also obviously all the other fees that are important for us European sellers. For example, the digital tax fee and also the net VAT, obviously. Down here you can see the certain thresholds for the referral fees and also obviously a breakdown of your VAT. And down here you can see discounts and other costs you can set in your settings. Exactly, that's it with the profitability breakdown. Okay, the next panel we will check out is the rank and prices panel. I'm usually using this panel to check out how the 30-day, 90-day and 180-day price is going, because this gives me an estimation how the product sells over time. Is the product currently in a peak or is the price currently falling? Here, for example, you can see the average buy box price for this product was around 300 euros the last 180 days. So currently the price is probably even at its lowest. Let's check it out for the 90 days and the 30 days. Yes, the product is currently at its lowest, so the price is probably currently falling. What I obviously also like to see is, okay, how was the product selling in the past? And I can also see that obviously with the estimated sales down here, the sales rank and also the net buy box price changes, we had 20 of them in the last 30 days. And what you can also do, you can just update the KPIs. So if you see, okay, the product wasn't updated for 1 day or 2 days, which shouldn't happen usually, but if it happened, just click on update right here and we will update the prices for you right away. So let's check out the next panel, the Amazon Marketplace panel. We already briefly went over it. It's one of my favorite panels, since you can see right away how the product is selling in other European marketplaces. With other solutions, you only see the sales rank, for example, and we show you the sales right away. And obviously also the sales rank when you are scrolling over our sales here, for example. As you can see here in Germany, the product is selling 400 times. In France, the product is selling 200 times, Italy 50 times. And you can also see the BSR here. It's around 5K. And also in the UK, selling 100 times and the BSR is around 4K, for example. You can obviously also see the prices, and you also have a profit calculation right away that is also tied to your buy-in price. So if you change anything in here, the profits will also change. And what you can also do is you can always insert certain prices and check how the calculation is behaving. So if you want to, you can obviously also just insert this price or this price and you see it's getting updated for you right away. Obviously it makes no sense. It's easier to just go over this panel here for this example. But if we go back in ranks and prices, for example, if you want to have your calculation, for example, for the 90-day average, just click in here and then check out, okay, how is the calculation going with the 90-day average? Okay, now let's go over the offers panel real quick. In the offers panel, you will see all the Amazon offers of every seller and also the real stock that they have loaded. Okay, so here, for example, you can see the first seller that also has the buy box is Amazon, and you can see it here right away. The next cheapest offer would be this seller right here, and you can see him here right away. You can also see, okay, how are his reviews? You can see, okay, he only has like 1 until now, so he's probably a super new seller. That can also be like super valuable information if you are going to reprice a certain product or you are listing the product the first time, for example. Here you can see the stock. It's 2 stock and it's getting accumulated for every offer. So down here, for example, you had 9 offers before you with an accumulated stock with 54 stock, for example. So if you would price around 304 euros, for example, you would probably be in 10th place here with the offers and you had 55 stock before you. And you can also calculate and see, okay, for example, if I sell for 281 euros, for example, I would make X amount of profit. And if I would sell for 300 euros, I would make Y amount of profit, for example. Okay. And you also have obviously the profit calculation right away anyway. So if someone undercuts a listing hard, this really helps you to determine instantly if it's worth undercutting as well or just staying away and let the other sellers sell their stock beforehand. If you want, you can also filter out non-prime offers right away. If you are not competitive to FBM offers, for example, and just want to reprice against FBA offers, for example, you can just filter them out right away. You can also just filter for FBA offers as a whole or just FBM offers as a whole. And that's it with the offers. Now let's get into my favorite panel, the reverse search panel. As already mentioned, ProfitGo reverse searches through more than 700 suppliers and show you at a glance if the product is available somewhere at a profit. And you can see here right away, for example, at guide sales, if we assume the product would sell for 350 euros, you could easily buy this product profitable at guide sales, at Offers Partner, at Alternate, or at ProShop.de. These are all German retailers, okay? And we obviously have that for all European marketplaces. Doesn't matter if you are from Spain, for example, from France or Italy, Netherlands, or my favorite country, obviously, the UK. We have this option for all marketplaces. So you definitely don't want to miss this feature out. It really is a game changer. Now let's get into a deeper analysis in Germany. So here in Germany, for example, you can then check out, okay, how was the product selling over the past? So for example, for the last 3 months. So are we currently buying at the highest price or at the lowest price? Because this is also important. Only because the product is profitable right now, it's not in good lead, okay? But here you can see the price was falling over the past pretty drastically, and we are currently buying at its lowest. The price will probably fall more in the future, but at least we know, okay, we are buying at the lowest price. And this data is exclusively available in ProfitGo and obviously our big brother ProfitPath as well. And this small reverse search panel alone saved me hours in my researching. It's already worth it to use ProfitGo for this panel alone. And now let's check on the next panel, our little alerts panel. Here in this alerts panel, you just have a quick overview about the most dangerous stuff that can happen with a certain listing. For example, the buy box, variations, if it's a private label product, is it maybe an IP product that we already know it is it an oversized product, is the product meltable, is it a hazmat product, and are you ungated in your main region? For me, for example, it's Germany, but you can check out at a glance if you are ungated in any other region. And that's it with the alerts panel already. Now let's get into the charts, but I will select another view because we have 4 views for you guys. Here to the right, the other one here to the left, then above the buy box, for example, and also a bigger view here next to the buy box. And here next to the buy box, you have the brightest view. What you can also do, obviously, extend the width of the extension. So like this, for example. And if you want, you can also see everything at a glance directly in the analyzer. But let's check it out here with the wider view. So let's take the 180-day view, for example. As you can see, for example, here the price was slowly falling. The sales also plummeted a bit, and now the price is falling a bit more, but sales are picking up again. And what you can see in the chart below is how the offers, ratings, and reviews are behaving. And here, for example, you can see, okay, sales are increasing and offers are also increasing, but the price is dropping. And this is a pretty usual behavior, I would say. The price is dropping because the offers are rising, because the listing is getting competitive, and sales are picking up again because the price is getting competitive again. So this is a usual correlation that happens. And if you want, you can disable any view you want. So for example, if you only want to see the buy box view and the BSR view to have it a bit cleaner, you can also see that. And you can also see by glance, okay, here, for example, there was no buy box, for example, and we showed it perfectly as Keeper does it, for example. So you really have the perfect overview here at a glance. And for every date range you need, for example, last 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, 180 days, and obviously also the whole year if you want to, and as far back as the listing exists. Okay, now let's get into another game changer panel right away, into our variance panel. And this variance panel shows you right away which variant is really selling and if the sales are shared under each variant. And here you can see right away, for example, this variant has its own unique BSR. The BSR is not shared to any other variant. Each of this variant has its own unique sales, and this information was always missing in any other tool. So you could never really analyze a variant, and that helps so much because there are so many nuggets in variants alone. And this is just another feature that I would buy as a single if it would be available. And if you click this little button right here, we will also check the reviews and see which variant really had the most reviews over the past 100 reviews. And we are only taking the past 100 reviews because imagine there is a variant that was listed, for example, 3 years ago, and a new variant just came in that is just selling for like 2 or 3 or 4 days. Obviously the variant that is, for example, 3 years old has way more variants than the variant that is like 3 days old. So we just take the most recent reviews into account. So let's check that out. And now you can see this variant here is probably selling the most when we take the last 100 reviews into account. Obviously, this is just a small correlation, but it can really help to determine which variant is selling the most. Now let's get into the next one, into the buy box analysis right here. And here we can see which seller, for example, for the last 30 days had the buy box the most, and in general had the buy box. Here you can see, for example, it was Amazon, then this seller, and this seller, for example, and you can obviously also check it for the last 90 days, the last 180 days, and in the last 180 days you can also see the buy box was suppressed for 7% of the time, and that was also the gap I showed you in the graphs before. Down here you also have a discount option. I'm not using that like too often, but if you're a heavy discount source, you can also move that up here, by the way. Obviously, you can also hide and show any panel as you like. So if you're never selling discounts, you can also just disable this panel. But if you're a discount seller, just imagine there's like a 10% discount. You can just apply this 10% discount, and we will apply that to the buy-in cost. You can also do a 2 for 1, for example, which is the same as a 50% discount, or 3 for 2, for example, which is just save a third. And you can also insert a custom percentage, for example, it's should say, okay, you have a 7.5% discount or a flat discount, for example, of €5. You can also insert that as you like. And the next panel is the VE registry. This panel is super important for us German sellers, since we have a bit more compliance here in Germany. And for electronic products, we need this VE numbers to even ungate these products. And they are usually a bit of a pain in the ass to find, but with ProfitGo, you can find them with one click. Just click this little button right here, and we will show you the VE that will ungate the product. Most likely it would be this VE right here. You could just click it and now insert it if you want to ungate this certain brand. It's always on brand level, obviously. And that's it, just a nice and clean panel. And down here you have your VAT calculations panel. And here you can also switch from net to gross. That's the thing you can also do up here, and also switch between different VAT rates. For example, there are some reduced VATs for certain goods, for example, books, food, etc. pp. And here you can just use them for the buy-in and also for the sell VAT. And in our settings, you can also set a custom VAT if you want to. So sometimes there are special VATs for certain goods. For example, in Germany, we had a special VAT for solar panels. And if this applies in your country, you can also customize them as you want and then use them for the right calculation. Down here, because I'm using it not that often, but you can also move it up here. Add a product to your catalog, for example, go to your Amazon dashboard, go to your inventory, and also go to your Amazon order. So you have a little Seller Central manager down here. And the last thing that I also really love is our Google Sheets integration. We spend a lot of time to make it the best Google Sheets integration you can have. Down here, for example, I have favorized my VA sourcing sheet. When my VA is sourcing, he has the shortcut up here, for example, and export this lead, for example, just to this Google Sheet down here, for example. And if I then think, okay, this is maybe a special lead, for example, a lead that usually goes in the winter or in the summer, I also have two separate Google Sheets for that. For example, if that would be a summer lead, for example, a pool or a certain dress or stuff like that, I could just also insert that to my summer leads, or for the winter leads, the same goes for any Christmas items or stuff like that. So super easy. The only thing you have to do is connect your Google Sheets to your Google account and you can start right away. And the last thing I want to show you is our little ASIN history. You can see down here, and here you can see all the leads you have sourced in the past, for example. And we are also saving the buy-in and the sell cost for you. So if you source a certain lead again, you will see right away, okay, I sourced this product for this buy-in price and in the past sold it also for XYZ sell price. So we also save that data for you automatically. And probably by the time you're watching the video, we will also have like a little search bar up here, so you can search through your history way easier. And that's it with our KPI panels. We will add more panels in the future. And if you are still missing anything, just let us know in the comment section below and we will add them as soon as possible, obviously. Also, if you want to give us more feedback, just join our free Discord community. It's linked in the video description below. It's for all European Amazon sellers. Just join it. We are a few thousand sellers and they're happy to welcome you guys. So now let's see ProfitGo in action. If you are on any product page, you can just open ProfitGo and we will try to extract the GTIN if it's on the site. So we are not only extracting the title. If the GTIN is available, we will prioritize the GTIN. So you will never be uncertain if this is really the right product you sourced. Any other tool before just used the title for the search, and we are using the GTIN, which makes the reverse search way more accurate. As you can see, we found this lead right away with the GTIN. And now let's see what would have happened if we searched by title. So let's click it, search by title. And as you can see, you would have been overwhelmed by products. And now you needed to determine for yourself, okay, which is the right lead. But with ProfitGo, this is way easier, as you can see. And you could also see right away, okay, is the product available at any other supplier? And here, for example, it would be available at Guideshouse for 10 euros cheaper. Let's check it out if it's still available, not for the exact price, but for like 60, 70 cents more, but still 10 euros cheaper than here, for example. And this is the feature again that saves a lot of time with this little panel. And obviously you also have the max cost right away available, okay? And with the max cost, you can see at a glance, okay, how much can my buy-in cost be to have, for me, for example, 3 euros profit and a margin of at least 7%. And here I see, okay, to get these KPIs going, I at least need a buy-in price that is as low as 230 euros. So this lead wouldn't be a good lead, for example. And now I can obviously go into the deeper analysis again and check out how the product is selling, but we already did that. So the next thing you can select are your EFN and PanEU settings. If you are just selling in your home country, for example, I have a business in Germany and I'm only selling in Germany, then I'm just selecting EFN, for example. But if I'm selling abroad and also doing PanEU, I can select PanEU and now differentiate in which country I'm really doing PanEU or EFN, for example. So for example, here in Spain, I can then select if I'm doing PanEU, I can select PanEU, or in France, I can also select PanEU if I'm doing PanEU over there. So this is also a game changer feature if you are selling all across Europe, because we are then taking the right piece into account, and that's super important to save a lot of time in the end and to also be certain that you are profitable. And the next thing you can select is if you are registered for the CEP program, for the Central European program, if the goods are stored in Poland or in Czech, for example, and if you are VAT registered or not. Most of you guys are probably VAT registered, but if not though, you can also select that and we will adjust the calculation for that. Same goes for FBA, FBM again. If you have a preference there, just select it, but you can also adjust it later in the quick panels. And the next cool feature is the auto update keeper. So if you guys didn't know, with many other tools, if you are on a certain listing and want to check out a secret lead, for example, usually these tools sending your data to Keeper, and Keeper updates that data and probably or maybe then sends out alerts to people if they have a price alert set for this certain product. And you can also toggle that off if you want to. Then we will not update the Keeper data that we are receiving from Keeper. And the next thing you can select is your shipping cost, the shipping cost for oversized products, the shipping cost for international shipments. So if you're sending products all over Europe, you can also set that there, and also obviously international shipping oversize. Then here we have your FBA settings for your inbound shipments, so the products that are going to the Amazon fulfillment center, your prep fees, your prep oversize fees, and also your MISC fees, so for invoices and all the other good stuff. Here you can set your minimum buy-in criteria. Our panels are adapting to that. So for example, if my profit would be lower than 3 euros and close, or a bit lower than 3 euros, for example, the panel would only show in yellow. Same for my margin and same for the ROI. And this is particularly important for the max cost to evaluate if a product has the right buy-in cost or not. So for example, if I now type in, I want at least 10 euros min net profit and a minimum margin of 15%, then my max cost would adapt to that and would show me my maximum buying cost I could have to get those certain KPIs. Exactly. And the last thing, and the thing I already spoiled, is down here you can select your VAT rates. For example, we have set the standard VAT rates and the standard reduced rates for you guys already. But if you have a certain exception to that, for example, as I said, in Germany, when you are selling solar panels, you have like a different VAT rate, and you can also use that here. For example, for the solar panels, these are also like 0%. So you can set the reduced VAT to 0% as well, and then we will take the 0% into account for you guys. Yeah, and that's it with the settings. everything you need at a glance. If there is still something missing, let us know in the comment section below, but we don't think so, since this software was built with the biggest sellers all over Europe to ship out the best product for you guys. Now let's talk about retail arbitrage, because ProfitGo has the fastest retail scanner on the market. With our mobile app, you can walk into any store and scan shelves in seconds instead of minutes with our bulk scanner, and instantly know if it's a buy or if it's a pass. In our bulk scanner mode, you can see here right next to me how the product is selling and what the max cost is, so you know right away if it's a good lead or not. But obviously you can also go into a deeper analysis for every product. Just click on the little analyze button and you will have access to all the panels that you are familiar with from the web view and the extension view as well. So you guys have seen it, the web app, the Chrome extension, and also the mobile app built for you guys, built for the European sellers. So start your 1 month free trial right now. You can cancel at any time at no cost and see by yourself how powerful ProfitGo is. And also, if you're looking for a community of other sellers, just join our free Discord community in the video description below. Thanks for watching and see you inside ProfitGo.